The full moon lunar eclipse happens at 23 degrees in Virgo with the south node, which is at 27 degrees on March 13th, 14th, depending on where you are in the world. It's all about a karmic release, a culmination, a partial revealing, as the eclipse obscures part of what's revealed. Issues around our health, routines, work, small business, people you hire, rental income, pets, organization, decluttering, communication, and to-do lists, just to name a few. A destiny can be fulfilled in your Virgo part of the sky, maybe an achievement of some kind within your community as well. And this eclipse does have a positive aspect. It has Uranus and Taurus trining this eclipse and Mars and Cancer making a sextile to it. And although Saturn is opposing the lunar eclipse from Pisces, we do have Mars and Cancer trining Saturn and the Sun here. This could look like some ease of change and easy letting go of a karmic story to allow for a new beginning in the Virgo part of your chart, but one that you are the initiator of with Mars here. It can be an emotional new beginning as well, as emotions are always involved because it is a lunar eclipse. The moon rules Cancer and we have Mars in Cancer, but in good flow to this full moon, there can be a deep feeling or sense of growth and change as well, as we also have Pluto sextiling the North Node in Pisces and trining the South Node at this eclipse. You can feel eerily in sync with life's destiny in the Pisces part of your sky at this time. Hello, Pisces, and welcome to March. This lunar eclipse for you is happening in the 7th house of serious committed partnerships in business or love. There can be simultaneous endings and new beginnings in the 7th house. One relationship can be ending, but only for a past life love to enter. Having the South Node on such an important axis, such as the 7th or even the 1st, can represent past life partnerships coming in. If it has been a long and difficult relationship that you are currently in, this eclipse with the South Node can release it almost with ease, as if there has been a karmic contract completed, lesson learned. Saturn is the great teacher after all, and when we have karmic relationships, it is most often our most important relationships that we are in, and they are not easy. I think sometimes people have a tendency to glorify karmic relationships, and they are almost always very difficult, and there is always an important lesson to be learned in that relationship, often where one person in the couple is very much the teacher and the other is the student. Saturn is also the sovereign and being able to stand on his own 2 feet and take care of himself. You have become Saturn. Most likely you have become more independent, even if you don't realize it, since he moved into your first house back in March 2023. You still have one more year on and off as Saturn, kind of retrogrades out, or moves forward and then retrogrades back to your sign. Anyway, to take all the lessons that you needed to learn to take control of your life and to draw boundaries where they have been sorely needed, to become more sure of yourself and able to define your dreams, but also now know how to put them into a structured step-by-step system to achieve said goals and dreams. At the same time, you may have outgrown an old relationship, and now may be a time where you can release it. Pluto rules your 9th house of the higher mind and seeing things from the higher perspective. You have the mountaintop view here, and it is sitting in your 12th house of undoing addictions, subconscious patterns, past lives, karmic debts, as well as tangible financial debts and dissolution. And is trining the South Node in the 7th, again showing a release if this is what you want, contract fulfilled, karmic debt paid, karmic not released, if this is what you want. Pluto is the planet of transformation, after all. Pluto is also sextiling your sun, moon, or ascendant. If you are a very late degree Pisces, around 28 degrees and up. Again, speaking of a smooth yet transformative time around your identity and your other half in business or love. If something or someone is released, it's to open the door for someone new and fated to enter your life, as having the North Node on your ascendant and the South Node in the 7th is a very significant time. It doesn't happen often. I believe it's only like every 9 years or so? I'd have to check my notes, but yes, anyway, 7th, it's a significant time nonetheless to meet a fated romantic partner or someone who will become an important business partner, agent, or representative in your life. Mars in your fifth house of Cancer is trining your Sun and Saturn, currently in your first house. And again, this could be meeting a significant new love in a relationship that will have quite a bit of attraction here with Mars trining the Sun in you. Mars is also making you look and feel more attractive and magnetic right now as it's trining your ascendant, especially for Pisces rising from 15 to 16 degrees and up. Not to mention having the Sun transit your first house can have you in the spotlight or being more Leo-like in a way where you're focused maybe on yourself and your self-expression. Mars will also be making a sextile to Uranus in your third, and it is already in effect, albeit in like a wide sextile at 6 degrees, but it felt nonetheless, and it will increase in energy as the month progresses and can look like positive breakthroughs in your thoughts, creative projects, anything to do with your children if you have any. You could have news of a pregnancy if that's something you were hoping for, especially with Mars in the house of romance and children, and messages also coming through subtly in that third house. So it could be like, surprise, we're pregnant. All right, you could also have a business you've been building start to take off, to get noticed. It could gain traction. We have Venus conjunct Mercury in Aries at the same time of this lunar eclipse in your second house of money and banking. And maybe you're getting like good money news or opportunities to make money. There can even be multiple sources in which money can come in with Mercury here. It can be from speaking or writing projects as well. Last but not least, with the ruler of this eclipse happening in the seventh house of partnerships being Mercury, which is positioned in your second house of land, immediate family, what you value, banking and assets, and it's conjuncting Venus. You and a partner could be buying property or starting a business together or acquiring some other assets that you have wanted for some time. A partner at the time of this eclipse could be the one having some good news about finances as well. Mercury rules your fourth house of home and family, and you still have Jupiter here. Another thing is your partner could be pregnant or falling pregnant, especially having the South Node transit their first house. That would indicate their loss of energy over the next year and a half while they're pregnant, giving birth, and then having a newborn in the house. So there's that. Okay. On another note, let's see. Mercury rules your fourth house of home and family. I'm just backtracking. And you still have Jupiter here. You could be improving your home and increasing your its value also. And oh, by the way, it can also mean additional family members. So be careful if that's not what you plan on doing. With this energy of release in the seventh house, it doesn't have to be a letting go of a partner per se if you are in a good partnership, but it could be a letting go of aspects of the relationship that didn't serve you. You could be changing as a couple and healing something here to begin a new relationship with the same partner. They may be taking notice of you and realizing your worth now, especially as the ruler of the seventh moves into the second. And the second is what we value. But either way it shakes out, the focus will and is supposed to be on you, with the North Node freshly moved into your first house, making you driven to focus on your self-expression, the things that you want to do in your life, and making changes to all of those other angles in your chart. The seventh house of partnership, the fourth house of home and family and property, and the 10th house of career, simply by going through what is sure to be a growth cycle for you over the next year and a half. I'm not saying to shirk your responsibilities, to your loved ones at this time, but it is a time to focus on your own well-being, your own dreams, your own goals in life, as you are in the super rare cycle to have Rahu move into your first house on your sun or your moon, but most importantly, the first house. This is simply where all of the energy is currently concentrated right now, the first and the second, and this is going on all the way until June, and then don't forget the nodes stay with you for the next year and a half. The March 29th partial solar eclipse at 9 degrees is just beautiful with no harsh aspects and is happening in your second house of what you value, your self-esteem, what you eat, what you drink, money and banking, assets and land, farmland, your diet, your throat, luxury goods. It's a house where we can gain independence from a partner or where we rely on our own efforts to bring in our own resources, which can make you feel valued and increase your self-esteem. when you know that you can provide for yourself and your family if you have one. The focus will remain here over the next 6 months as this energy for this eclipse unfolds and is giving you a second chance if you didn't accomplish some second house goal, since the eclipses and the nodes made their way through here since July of 2023. You can change now and over the next 6 months how you earn your money. Maybe it's through creative projects or using your voice, writing something creative within your community, or a job within your community that is maybe tied to homes, women, children somehow. As the depositor of the solar eclipse is Mars, and Mars is in Cancer in your 5th house of children, romance, and creativity. Mars is trining the North Node, Neptune, the Sun, and Saturn in your 1st house at this time. So this can look like some kind of energetic breakthrough around your identity, around your creativity, or you're in the spotlight in some way, but there's like a lot of energy being funneled to your 1st house from Mars, from the house of creativity and self-expression. So you could be more active at this time, getting more involved in theater and sports, some form of hobby or self-expression. You could be skiing or snowshoeing if you're in the northeast of the country. We have snow and cold weather for a while yet, even though we're in March. My Pisces daughter actually learned how to ski since Mars has been in Cancer this past winter, and she absolutely loves it, just to give an example of how this can play out. There can definitely be love in the air again because we have Pluto in the mix, sextiling Venus in the 2nd house, which is a very sensual house. It is naturally ruled by Taurus, and Pluto naturally rules intense magnetic Scorpio in the 8th house, but is currently hidden in your 12th. There could be a secret admirer here, Pisces. Pluto is sextiling Mercury in the 2nd, so maybe the secret admirer will contact you with Mercury involved. They could be someone who lives at a distance or is a foreigner. There could be an intense and transformational bond developing between you and another here, or there is the desire to heal subconscious patterns that we're undoing for you so you can connect better now in a relationship. You can also be taking spiritual knowledge, philosophy, and teachings and become a spiritual teacher, or you could be divining information that you learn from that 12th house of spirituality where Pluto is and translate the messages or share with the people. And this could be something you can become known for. And good karma can come to you by using this esoteric knowledge for the collective. Ruler of the 9th and the 12th, and projecting out what you learned through that 1st house, which is where we build our karma in this lifetime. With Pluto in the North Node and Neptune being highlighted, you could also develop some special project, film, book that turns into a movie, fantasy art, music that can help people or humanity in some special way, as this is unusual and big energy happening here. You can help society or now have a role to play in some way with so many powerful planets in your 1st house and finding your purpose as the weeks and the months unfold. Take care, Pisces. This is big energy going on, and it's a great way to close out the month and feel reinvigorated for the spring season.